yeah, don't walk in the bike path. As a tourist, as a foreigner, you will just get ridden over or really just shouted at. They take their bike paths very seriously.
Hey there, wonderful viewers. Welcome back to Afric TV, where we bring you stories from around the world that will make you laugh, learn, and feel inspired. Today, we're thrilled to have you with us once again.
Hi, I'm Cheryl. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Glad to have you here as well. Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks. I am South African. I've been living in Germany for 11 years. And I am in the process of writing another book. So I spend a lot of time creating content on TikTok and writing about my experiences in the last 11 years about, myself as a South African, from a South African perspective, and how I experienced Germany. However, I didn't always do that, obviously. I've actually been a yoga teacher for 17 years and a life coach. And I gave that up at the beginning of the year to focus just on writing and doing crazy interviews like this.
So you are from Africa, right? But you live in Germany, which is Europe. So let's talk about some of the nice places in Germany first. Then we will move to Africa. What are some of the nice places in Germany that tourists can come and visit?
Yeah. I mean, Munich is, in my opinion, the most beautiful city in Germany. It's got so many lakes nearby. The mountains are 1 hour's drive. The English Garden, which is bigger than Central Park in New York, is right in the middle of the city. It is unbelievably gorgeous. I still can't believe that I can walk 10 minutes and I'm in this incredible garden, like just exquisitely beautiful. So Munich itself is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got a river running through it. Other places, I mean, I've been mainly in Bavaria, luckily, which is, the southern part of Germany, almost Italy. And to be honest, I haven't traveled that much in Germany because the other countries are so much closer to me. It's easier for me to get to Italy than it is for me to get to the west of Germany. Berlin is interesting from a culture perspective if you're into, like New York, Lower East Side, like 20 years ago. What was the question? Beautiful places.
Yes,
Beautiful.
yes.
Yeah, I would just say the forests and the lakes are the most, for me, and the mountains, the most beautiful parts of Germany that I've experienced, and the cities themselves, yeah.
Great. So what about your country, which is South Africa, in Africa?
In South Africa?
Yep.
Oh, South Africa is also beautiful. Cape Town, of course. All the Germans love Cape Town. It's got the sea, the mountains. But I'm also a big bush person, so I love safari holidays. I love being in the Kruger Park, the Addo Elephant Park. And then, of course, the Durban side, the tropical beach, kind of like the real far north coast of Durban. Yeah, beautiful. Johannesburg, I would skip entirely. It's ugly. It's ugly. One of the ugliest cities. I think I've known I'll get so much hate for that, but it's just true. The people are amazing and the culture is amazing, but Johannesburg's ugly. Sorry.
Great. So tell us, why Germany and how many years have you been there?
Because I love the Germans. No, I used to have a German boyfriend 11 years ago, and he was traveling between Germany or Munich and Johannesburg, where I lived. And at some point we thought, okay, well, should we live in the same country? And I was very curious and adventurous. And I think you can relate when you grow up in South Africa or Africa. For me, growing up in South Africa, I always felt very disconnected from the rest of the world. It's like we were literally cut off from the rest of the world with sanctions and whatnot. And I always dreamed like, oh, Europe, America, the world beyond. And so I think, like, I could say that I was in love, and I probably maybe was, who knows. But really I was like, this is my chance. Let me go and see what the rest of the world is like. I mean, not that I hadn't traveled. I had traveled before, but I thought, hey, let's go give Europe a try. And it could have, honestly, at that point, it could have been France. In fact, I wish it was Paris. The language, much better. Or Italy, or it could have been anywhere, or Sweden. It just happened to be Germany, and I was like, okay, let's do that.
So tell us, what are some of the challenges you face since Germany is a non-English speaking country?
The challenges, wow.
Yeah.
The language first. You know, I had this weird notion that the whole world spoke English, and that it seemed to me that people speaking German here was like quaint, like they did it as some kind of cultural cuteness. I didn't realize, I mean, I did realize on some level, but I really thought, are they seriously speaking this very difficult language? So just, you cannot get by unless you can speak German. I mean, of course you can, especially in a big city like Munich, well, an international city like Munich, but as soon as you hit the outskirts, if you don't have any German, it's going to be difficult. So the language was a huge challenge. The culture was a huge challenge. German culture is very different to South African culture. We're friendly, we're easygoing, we make jokes all the time, we don't follow the rules. And Germany is the exact opposite. So that was a shock. And then, of course, the weather was a huge shock. Just, you know, like 9 months of the year, you're basically cold if you're from the southern hemisphere. So I think just those three things alone were really challenging.
Nice one, nice one. So talking about rules, tell me, what are some of the things that expatriates or foreigners shouldn't do when they come to Germany?
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, don't walk in the bike path. As a tourist, as a foreigner, you will just get ridden over or really just shouted at. So they take their bike paths very seriously. You also wouldn't actually say Guten Morgen, like or Gute Nacht. Like this is what you learn in language school. Like Guten Morgen means good morning. No one says that. So that would be weird. You would also... Basically, this is the weird thing. If there's any rule, it can be the tiniest rule, you will get caught out. You will, no matter what. If you park wrong, if you walk in the bike path, if you put your feet up where you're not supposed to put your feet up, if you just, you'll get away with absolutely nothing. And trust me, I tried.
Wow.
I tried.
I get you. Wow. Let me ask you this question. In Germany, are there really many opportunity jobs, as people say?
Yes, a lot. There are so many jobs, and what I don't really understand is, especially coming from South Africa, where there's so few jobs and so many people looking, what I don't understand here is that there are so many jobs and no people. That's why they're trying to get them in. So you see, it's very common to see on shop windows looking for help, wine bars, restaurants, cafes, clothing stores, which as a South African, I really noticed this, because in South Africa, it's the exact opposite. Everyone wants a job. And here I just think, where are the people that, how come there's so many jobs? So yeah, there are loads of jobs in Germany, but apparently no people for the jobs.
Nice one. Okay, so we're coming back to Africa. So tell us, what are some of the foods that you recommend to foreigners and expats whenever they visit your home country, which is South Africa? What are some of the nice foods?
Wine. Does that count? Is wine a food? I mean, it's grapes.
Yeah, it's grapes.
Yeah, the wine in South Africa is special, really. And just the fresh salads, you know, like just fresh, and fish, amazing fish, the way they do it, the way it's fresh, the way they cook it. Of course, the meat is also, you know, if you get like really nice, properly grown beef and all this, and it's also so cheap compared, you know, for Europeans. I was never much of a traditional food eater in South Africa, like boerewors. Boerewors. Yeah, the South African favorite sausage. I think that's still good. A good boerewors roll. You can't beat that. That's cool. Yeah, I miss that.
Nice one. I know you've been waiting for this question. So tell me, which country has the most handsome men?
But we're the best men. We're the best men from a looks perspective, or from like a character perspective, or
Any of them.
I would be lying if I said I didn't think German men were very good looking. Yeah. Generally, there's a lot of good looking men in Munich. Yeah. That's the truth.
Nice one. So tell us, has traveling abroad changed your mindset and perspective on so many things?
I mean, I think the perspective that I have that a lot of German people lack is how good they have it here. And they don't realize how safety is such a key point, how a stable currency is such a key point, how having a system where there is support in case you need it is so key. And these things we don't have in Africa, like, and I was a spoiled, entitled, white South African woman. So I came here very much with that attitude of like, and I had to grow up so hardcore because I didn't have my family support. I didn't have friends. I had to really start from scratch. And I fought for 11 years to kind of feel the same level of safety that a German-born person feels now. And I'm just about to get my citizenship, which means so much to me. And it provides a lot more safety than anyone here would even comprehend. Being able to walk in the streets alone as a woman at midnight and feel totally fine is insane. I would never do that in South Africa. So that's kind of perspective I would really appreciate now. Yeah.
So any advice for anyone who wants to travel to abroad? You are in Germany, so any advice for anyone who wants to travel to Germany?
Be very comfortable learning a new language. Like, you would really need to love to do that, because it's a difficult language. It takes a long time to learn. So, you will feel kind of stunted for the first couple of years while you learn this language. And to just be very clear about why it is that you would want to move. Like, be very, very clear, because things can get lonely, they can get difficult. And unless you know why you're doing it, it's difficult to kind of get to the how. Yeah.
Great. So any shout outs to family, friends? You can also add your social media handles to it, if only you could to do so.
Yeah, I mean, I have incredible friends here. Luckily, I have so many. I wouldn't want. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to show this to them. And of course, my family back home, who it was heartbreaking for them for me to leave. But luckily, with this technology, we can stay in touch. I go visit them once a year. So yeah, I miss them. But we'll see them soon. Yes, absolutely. You can follow me on TikTok. Cheryl_Anna. So CHERRYL, super awkward spelling, and then _Anna on TikTok, and Cheryl Anna Duncan on YouTube. I have loads of yoga videos on there in case anyone wants to do yoga. Yeah.